Today on Road Cred, we are at America's Most Wanted 4x4 brand new world headquarters, and we're going to be checking out some of the coolest Jeeps that we've ever seen. This is a crazy place, so let's go walk around and check out some of these badass Jeeps and show you how they get some of this stuff done. Wow. 707, that's a Hellcat. Yeah, listen to this thing. Sounds better than my 392 a little bit. He gave a little rev there for fun. This one is really cool to see up person. I'm a fan of Fathom Blue when it's done with the right accents. This is a 717 Adventure Series package here from America's Most Wanted 4x4 with the bronze accents all over. Looks absolutely fantastic. This started life as a Rubicon X, so everything got paint matched from the factory. They've done some KMC wheels, the bronze inset, the black trim ring. Hellcat's done in bronze. All the badging and accents are also done in bronze, and this thing looks fantastic. Rock Slide Engineering steps, two to help you get in and out of this vehicle. One thing we wanted to show you up close in person though was the bobbed bed. So this is a big time feature that they do here at America's Most Wanted. And if you looked at this Jeep and didn't know that it came in a separate length, you would ultimately think that this is what it looked like from factory. But in fact, they take off quite a bit of material in the bed, cut this off, trim the frame, and put everything back together just like it would have been from the factory. They even trim the factory Mopar tonneau covers if so desired. But this gives you a ton more clearance in the back, and that's the biggest thing with these Gladiators, is when you go to wheel them, they have so much more extending over the back end of their rear wheelbase that you really want to trim it up so you don't catch that off-road. Honestly, it looks a little bit more proportionate too in my eyes, and it just looks so clean when you see it up in person. Even when we open this tailgate, I look what they did here with the Jeep badging in the back. We were thinking either way, Ryan, like either, now of course I don't see one, but the full big Gladiator text, or that looks really good with the bronze on here. But we can pop this down, and it's actually, this one's got the spare in the bed too. That's a really cool idea. They've actually got some bolt down brackets, but this is all Rhino lined and finished off, and you can't even tell. I don't know, you can't even. When you look at this thing, it doesn't even look like it was modified. Factory style intake, factory style receptacle there, America's Most Wanted badging up underneath here. This is just a beautiful piece of machinery, and this is one of their factory units. So this is their test unit that they've been running out in Moab and all other places, but just wanted to take a little bit closer of a look at what they've done to this one. All right guys, well one cool thing is we're walking by the first station of the AMW, and this is where you actually start the swap, right? So the tub comes off, and what's neat is that every authorized AMW center has to, you guys come and have to train basically how to do this. And these two are actually all the way from, I don't want to say down under, but they're all the way from Australia. Is that like offensive for you guys or no? Well, anyways, we got these guys from Australia, and they're from McKay Performance Center, and they're learning how to do the whole swaps.
Yeah, we want to start importing the Hellcat or the Jeeps and start doing all the HEMI conversions on them, but it's sort of new. No one does any Hellcat stuff, so we've got the first right-hand drive Hellcat here, and that's why we're over here doing the training now, so we can offer turnkey right-hand drive Hellcats in Australia.
Look these guys up if you need a HEMI swap or a full turnkey in Australia. All right guys, let's open up the driver's side door of this Jeep Wrangler. Right-hand drive. It's like permanently messing with my brain, and for our Australian and our viewers overseas that have right-hand drive vehicles, and this is normal, I'm sure left-hand drive messes with you, but this is just thoroughly like insane to me. It's a Hellcat swapped right-hand drive 2024 Earl Grey Hellcat up in there, 717 package, but just having all the switches over on this side and it's just tripping me out. This is really, really neat. I'm sure this took a lot of engineering because you got to think everything then is backwards. Your brake booster is over on this side. So look at that. Your fuse and battery box are over here, but on ours, they're over there. So what's crazy with this, guys, is I'm kind of looking at what's the same and what's different. So when I open the passenger side door and like you see all this open space, it trips you out so bad. But it looks like the center console is the same. The shifter for your drive and then as well as your transfer case shifter are both on the same side as the left-hand drive, as well as your e-brake. So they didn't swap that. This is the same, this lower section, and then obviously now this is a grab bar in front of the side. So this is completely opposite. And then the screen, I wonder if Jeep was like smart enough that they could make it go either way. I wonder, because it's a lot to, you forget sometimes the engineering that goes into like designing a Jeep, then also that can be right-hand drive. But so yeah, so if you guys are looking to be rural mail carriers and go and deliver quick,
Yeah.
we had to do a little skit. We could be male Jeep drivers with this thing. So as we kind of go to the next station here, like we saw at the previous AMW headquarters, they were doing fabrication in another area. Obviously, when you're fabricating frames, when you're doing bob beds, when you're doing a lot of metal work, it gets dirty, it gets dusty, and you don't want that all over the finished product. Now we're walking through this center section here, and if you look at the building, the first beginning section is still under construction a little bit as Jared is kind of awaiting to get that all finished and set up. But in here is going to be your metal fab and your fabrication section. And the neat thing about this is that when they designed this building is that you can actually walk through and see steps of the process as a consumer, but not have to interrupt them while they're working. I saw something peeking out over here though. Let's go look at this. Brand new Mojito. I think this is their Adventure series too. So this has got, I want to say it's a Hellcat underneath the hood. We'll go up and take a closer look. Set of 37 by 12.5 R17. These are the same wheels I just picked up for my 392. So that's that same wheel, that KMC wheel. This has just got the black ring on there. You notice something a little bit different at the bed too. Bob bed, you can't even tell until you look at it and you're like, wait a sec, that's a lot shorter than the factory one. Spray and bed liner on here, color match. So this probably started life as a Rubicon X, but I wanted to show you guys something up front. We're trying not to get in these guys' way, but I want to show you something under the hood that I thought was pretty insane. So Ryan, just follow me through here. So this is getting the Hellcat. Okay, so this is the Hellcat in here, but look at the Hydro Guide. How do you do that? America's Most Wanted, entirely branded Hydro Guide. Like, it doesn't get more factory than that. You know, so what they're doing then is what I'm seeing here is they're getting a factory 392 hood, putting their own Hydro Guide into it to make sure that this thing functions. And then what I really love about their swaps is if you look right here, Ryan, the airbox. So a lot of swaps, they just give you like a cone filter and they're just like, here you go, that's done. It's actually going to connect to the factory Hydro Guide, which is going to separate water, flow the air right into here, and it's a functional hood scoop. The amount of time that goes into like just getting that done and then making it work with your swap, absolutely insane. And that's kind of the quality that you can expect here on every single build. But doesn't the Mojito look good? Really what's insane about walking around is just the level of care that goes into every single build. Now this one behind us, I thought it might have been a Line-X material. It looks like a flat paint job on here, but this is actually going to be a Elephant, or it already is, and it's in here beginning the build process. But the level of care that goes into each one of these builds, these actually, as if you guys watched our video 2 years ago, they build custom casters to roll around the tubs as they're going through it. So this one's getting a Elephant, but you can see just the front half of the Gladiator. I think I saw the bed someplace over there, but it's really neat to walk around and just see little things like this right over here, Ryan, you know. Just throw a little bit of blue painter's tape right on there because it's a finished product. So as you're working, you don't want to nick that up as you're building it. That's the level of quality that you're getting here. And then also with these bumpers, man, I loved it over there. Look at how clean. This is just the winch mount, but how clean that fits that worn Xeon. Really, really pretty build. I love when you get the different accent colors onto here and different things going, but the quality of the build that you're receiving here, I can't speak on it enough, is just the level is insane. You wouldn't be in a facility like this unless you did quality work. So this one is, that's a bob bed as well. It's got the full long arm on here. That looks really, really clean. And then a frame sitting right behind it, kind of ready to go with the 8 lugs. I don't know what that's going on, or maybe it was under that one. You don't know. There's just so much candy here for a Jeep guy. It's insane. So Jared and I were FaceTiming the other night, and he walked me down this aisle. I want to say basically every single box in here, besides like the small ones, is a long block, either 5.7 or a 6.4 in just this aisle alone. Ryan, do you see how long this aisle is? I think one of these 5.7s might look good in the juice. A little bit better than the Elephant. I think it would keep it a little bit reasonable there, but the sheer amount of parts in stock here is really what makes this so impressive, is that they are sourcing, like you see Mopar boxes all over the place here. This is quality components that are going into every one of these builds. The sheer amount of this too, and now they're not even all set up yet either. You got to remember they only moved in a few weeks, if not a few months ago, but just the sheer amount of everything in here. Seeing the engine long blocks here is kind of the first step, and then all the other components are what turn these into those turnkeys and the engine swaps that we have. So we'll see if you guys watched the first video when we were doing sort of this facility. This Jeep, actually, we featured in it. This was a 1,000 horsepower Elephant at the time, but it's currently back in the shop, and I see AMW 1500 on the side of the hood. I'm gonna have to talk to Jared to confirm, but normally the designation that they put on the side of the hood is how much horsepower this is making. I do see a brand new top mounted supercharger on top of the block there. So this thing could be, if it's producing 1,500 horsepower, that's insanity. That's 3 times my 392. And I know how fast my 392 is. it's just insanity. So I believe it is, because that inside it's also reupholstered to say AMW 1500. So I'm not sure, but we'll have to confirm on this. That's really kind of neat to see this for a second time around, and that's one thing that you'll find too. A lot of the consumers and customers that are doing builds with Jared and the team here at AMW are bringing them back to do upgrades then, because they're like, that was so awesome, but let's do a little bit more. So that's what we got in here. Look at this bed. So this is actually neat. I mean, this is obviously a bobbed bed, but look at this in here. This is, if you look at, Ryan, you can kind of peek in here at the engineering and see this. This reminds me of a pre-runner, and this entire bed-mounted tire carrier is on a swivel. So you can actually like pick it up, and I'm not sure, some of these, then you can actually mount them or like run them at the upward position for a little bit so you can run your goodies down below. But this thing actually completely picks up. And so I see two struts there. It's just wild. All of this is just wild. This Jeep behind me is just probably the absolute pinnacle of how clean you can build a Jeep. This is a 426, so it's their 606 package. It's got their full AMW 8-lug axles under here, 1-ton front and rear, coilover package, their own, check it out, even on the sway bar, they have it machined into there. It's got Nemesis Industries front bumpers, their fender flares, Rockslide Engineering steps. It's got the full hood scoop on here, so this obviously started life probably as a Rubicon X, and that all gets added. All of this stuff is just done so cleanly and so well. Baja Designs lighting throughout the entire build. This Jeep is massive. I'm sure inside, yeah, they've got the full, it's the full AMW leather, Ryan, so you got to see it. It's all AMW all the way in the stitching and then even in the center section. But when you look at a build, this is the quality that is to be expected here, and this is just absolutely insane to see in person. So really, really clean stuff. Let's go check out some more of these Jeeps. So earlier in the video, we were showing the front half of this. This is actually the bed that matches it, and I was kind of curious on how it was. This thing is fully painted, so it's all the way in there. This one is getting, it has the Elephant in it. I'm not sure what's being upgraded to, but obviously it's in here getting some work done to it. And this thing's got some dust and dirt underneath it, so it's being used, but I'm not sure what they're upgrading. We'll have to maybe ask the guys, but it's really neat because a lot of the customers here at AMW, if they get a full build like this, they're always back to make it even bigger and badder. So a lot of cool stuff going on, but kind of neat to see the bed and then the tub way over there. So this is something I have never seen. We actually walked by and I saw it and I was like, wait a sec, there's a second tire and wheel setup. This is a dually Gladiator that they're just finishing up, and the customer is actually here today. Would you guys rock a dually Gladiator? It's got the cab lights on the top. It's got some custom work done to it. I believe they did a 392 swap onto it, and then obviously the rear end is all set up, and I don't know if it's 8-lug, both front and rear, but at least the rear end was swapped. This thing is kind of crazy. I mean, it's crazy, it's cool. I've never seen anything like it. So hopefully we can chat with the customer a little bit and maybe see if we could check it out outside. But this is at least a 24 or newer because the inside has the new cluster. And what we're currently standing in is going to be, this area is not going to be kind of set up like this. This is going to be a paint booth in here, so they can do full custom paint jobs like that Jeep. Yeah, let us know down below in the comments, what do you think about the dually Gladiator? I think it's pretty wild to see in person. All right, guys, let's fire it up, the AMW 717 Adventure Series package. This is my first time driving the Hellcat, so let's take it for a cruise, and I'll let you know my thoughts on it. This is gonna be awesome. Let's fire it up. I can't wait to hear it. It's actually surprisingly tame until you get on it, I'm sure. This is that Fathom Blue one, so let's take it for a cruise and see what she'll do. I'm not sure what the gearing is in here. I wonder if they kept it at 410, if they upgraded it. I'll have to go back and ask them about it, but man, this thing already feels like, the steering, I want to see if it has the PSC underneath it. It feels very, I don't know, it just feels dialed in. They upgraded the steering on this. This has got the bobbed bed. I could already hear just getting on it a little bit, that Hellcat whine, and I cannot wait to just like get on it a little bit and see how it performs. Wow. That's like wild. I wasn't even on it. I wasn't, oh my goodness. Oh boy. I think you gotta take this thing to a track or something, it almost feels like. But it's so smooth, dude. Man, I think we gotta, I don't know if we gotta get it on the highway and just get it up to speed for a second and just see how that feels. That's wild. It should not be going that fast. That should not pick up that quick. And it's like planted too. But in the terms of safety, we're always talking about safety on Dirt Road Cred. This has got curtain airbags and faster and more efficient merging speeds. For any of you husbands or wives that need to use this as an excuse, you can quote that. All right, guys, well, that is going to be a wrap on today's visit of America's Most Wanted 4x4 global headquarters here in Michigan. Now, we had an absolutely fantastic time here, checking out all the awesome rigs that they've built, all their beautiful new rigs that they've got going on, as well as being able to take out the 717 Adventure Series and really test it out a little bit and see how this thing performs. It drove absolutely wonderfully. Now, if you guys are interested in anything that you saw today and you want to reach out, let them know that Dirt Road Cred sent you, and maybe there'll be a little perk in it for you. But a huge shout out to Jared and the entire team here at America's Most Wanted 4x4 for always opening us up with welcome arms and letting us play with all of these fun vehicles for the day. We had an amazing time, and we cannot wait to come back here and hopefully put one of these Hemis into one of our own Jeeps. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you wouldn't mind, comment down below which was your favorite rig of this video and what the perfect engine swap for your rig would be. Till next time, my name's Matt, Ryan's behind the camera, and we want you to get out there and earn yours.